What's up, my everybody, as well today? This is your guy, Charles Tank Harris, founder and CEO of the financial services planning firm Wealth Our Way, where we believe wealth is not only for the wealthy. I want to apologize to everybody for not being able to produce the live broadcast yesterday. I was fiddling around with technology, trying to see if I could pre-record the session because I knew I would be on an airplane when the session was scheduled for yesterday. Technology did not make me feel comfortable enough that I had done it correctly, so I just postponed it altogether. As some of you may know, because a lot of you guys who are on this page follow my personal page, my brother was involved in an incident over the weekend in which he was physically assaulted, and he is in a hospital, hooked up to a gang of stuff, monitoring his brain activity, and I literally just got a text from my sister who's running point on everything that he had a little backslide overnight into today. So, continued prayers for my little brother, Lloyd Harris. And, this is just crazy the way things work out. But I'm sure he'll be well. I'm confident of it. And it's just time to move on. So I told everybody, unless things went really, really crazy, today I would be on at 12:30 as scheduled. So it's 9:30 where I'm at because I'm in LA. But 12:30 Eastern time, we are ready to rock and roll. What I'm talking about this week is getting people on their own personal wealth journey. I'm going to talk a lot this week about what we do at Wealth Our Way, because I don't feel as though Wealth Our Way is a proposition that people are completely understanding why I created it and what it can do for you. The number one reason I created Wealth Our Way was to bring financial literacy and the tenets of monetary excellence to the Black community. I am a financial services professional who has worked in the industry for 22 years. I've been at firms of Smith Barney, Payne Weber. I've been through mergers at these firms when Smith Barney merged with Solomon Brothers, and then Travelers Company, which owned both companies, merged with Citibank to make Citigroup. I was a part of that industry. When Payne Weber was acquired by UBS Banking Services, I was a part of that. I've run my own business management firm. I am not, hey, Ash, that's my girl. We work together. And congratulations on the baby. We work together at New York Life. I don't say these things to run my bio and resume down to you guys for personal purposes. I say them to let you know that you finally have a resource from the financial services industry that will pull the curtain back, so to speak, and answer any question you have. I do get a nice amount of inboxes and emails from people who have questions, but it seems like it's always the same people. And I love them, and I will continue giving them answers. But I want you to know, for those of you who barely know me or were just meeting me here, I'm truly here to answer the questions. No holds barred. I want you to get your financial life together. Only once we get financial equality in this country will everyone treat everybody better. I want to be in a world for myself and for my children where everybody gets along with everybody, regardless of their background, regardless of their skin color, regardless of their sexual orientation. And I do believe that a lot of that starts with people seeing each other as financial equals, and that us all realize that there's abundance in the world and we don't have to step on each other's neck to get where we need to go. But that starts with financial literacy. And Wealth Our Way is designed to give you that financial literacy. You literally can go on the website and get access to videos, articles, blogs, so much information. Then you can come to the live. I'm starting a webinar series where every Wednesday we're going to have Wealth and Wine Wednesdays, where I'm going to set up Zoom meetings free of charge for us to have deep dive discussions. I'm going to present a financial topic. I'm going to run through every aspect of it. There's nothing that you could want to know financially, from investment, real estate, to credit, to student loans, anything. This is your gateway to it. I have such an expansive network of financial professionals that can help in any area, whether I'm an expert in it or whether I have to reach out to another expert. I can get you the information. It's free, so come get it. Wealth Our Way is a company that does charge clients for financial planning services, but none of you guys have to use that. You guys can just use the free resources. Then if you say, hey, you know what? This guy can be my tour guide to financial freedom and I'm going to hire him. That's a different ask. I don't need you to hire me for me to have the life I want. I'm good. So by all means, please come back. Please get the information. Please stay engaged. What's up, Ariane? Please ask the questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what the Wealth Our Way process is. And once again, you can follow this process whether you are a paying client or a free follower of the information. We have 4 levels of service at Wealth Our Way. And I used to have them all numbered, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. My staff told me it'd be better if I named them. So level 1 is now considered the foundational level. What's up, Big Joe? Level 2 is the developing level. Level 3 is the transitional level. And level 4 is the mastery level. 95% of the clients, the reason Wealth Our Way was designed, it was to bring on foundational clients. Level 1 clients, our lowest level of service, which is $80 a month. The first thing that my advisors do when we get a new client at $80 a month is we pour through credit cards, debit cards, insurances. And what we do is we find where you guys are wasting $80 or more. The number one thing that you can show somebody is that they're getting something without having to pay for it. Or more importantly, the way I like to look at it is people are only concerned about cost when there's a lack of value. So if you see immediately, hey, Tank just showed me how to save $272 a month, but it costs $80 a month to work with Tank. You're making $192 a month from the go. So that's why there is a fee-based program. But because of my pledge to my community, I also make 95% of what I teach my clients on the level 1 level free to my clients. Hey, cuz, I make it free. I make it so that people have no excuse not to move forward. A lot of you guys who will be on here are friends of mine from school. You guys went to Temple with me. My Temple brothers and sisters, we are all, hey Shauna, how are you, babe? We are all in the same boat. Whether we make 80,000, 500,000, we're all trying to figure out how to get to financial independence. We're trying to get to a point where our money is taking care of all of our expenses. So I teach techniques called BUD. BUD is an acronym, best use of a dollar. I teach people because I didn't realize that everyone doesn't have the same financial starting point when I was in school mentally. So I grew up on food stamps. I was always very hungry to learn how to get better financial access. So what's up, RB? Bartram in the house. So what I realized is that if I'm gonna talk about some cultural things for a minute. Black people, we like to see our money, as we like to say, we like to see our money stack up. So I have a lot of clients, and I find my clients are all different. So I have clients that have hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in bank accounts. And these bank accounts earn them 0 interest. They got money in a checking account earning nothing. Same client will have a credit line or a credit card that has a balance on it. And the interest rate on the credit card is 12%. Maybe the outstanding balance on the credit card is $9,000. I will explain to this person, I need you to take $9,000 from your checking account because you just got it sitting there, pay the credit card off. You just made 12% on your money. That's the best use of a dollar. And I get into literal arguments over this with my clients because they say, I'm not doing that. Why are you not doing it? Because I like to see 100,000 in my bank account. They just want to see the number. It's a cultural thing. The reality is, and people don't believe me, but I've also, besides for studying math and finance, did a lot of psychology study in school. As African Americans in this country, we started off here being stripped of our identity, brought somewhere where we owned and had no say in anything. So one of the biggest financial beliefs that we have is that we have to buy things. We have to show ownership over things. We have to purchase and consume things, which is why if you took the spending data for the African American community, we rank 17th in the world if we were a country. We have the 17th highest gross domestic product because we spend. This country loves that we're such consumers. And anybody think about what I'm talking about? I'm sure pretty much a lot of us on this live have watched BET. Have you ever seen a BET program compared to a channel 3, 6, and 10 or local program and seeing how many more commercials a BET show has? I couldn't stomach watching the New Edition story because it felt like for the 3 hours, an hour and 20 minutes were commercials. But they know we spend our money, so they advertise to us. They don't advertise to us banking. They don't advertise to us Merrill Lynch commercials. They advertise where we can buy the new Cadillac or the new Jordans. It's partly insulting, But we have to hold ourselves accountable and realize as long as we act like consumers, we're going to be treated like consumers. Now is the time for us to invest in ourselves, invest in our families, invest in our communities, and build wealth. We have the money to build wealth. When I go through my clients' debit card statements and credit card statements and show them the miscellaneous spending, and I show them if we just redirected that, make a small change, and read the, what's up, Big Brew? Going back into that Roth IRA, earning 8% on it, tax free. If you look at the difference, I don't know how many of you have heard the story of mine. When I moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 2008, I expected to work from my house. I bought this big ass 8,000 square foot Georgia estate, and I had this huge office, and I was going to work from the house. Hey, Renee, what's good? It's my assistant. Going to work from the house. I had my then wife order the Verizon triple play package, and in my office put a fax line, a computer line with the internet, and a phone line. 3 months later, the guy who would become my right-hand man in Atlanta found me. This is a lesson for those of you who want to be entrepreneurs. This kid found me in a place to rent for business, and got me my own office and started working for me, all on his own initiative. And what I didn't think about was turning off the Verizon stuff in my office. 3 years later, 2011, I'm arguing with my wife about my kids' grades, and they're watching too much TV. So I, being who I am, I go to turn off the Verizon package. When she brings me the bill and I see the bill is $400 and some a month, I can't believe it. I'm like, why is the bill so high? I come to realize I'm paying $175 for these lines in my office that I've never used. So if you think in terms of 175, you say no big deal. You can't. You got to think in terms of 175 times 12 months in a year, which is, what's that, 1750 plus 350, that's $2,100. $2,100 times 3 years, that's $6,300 that I spent on something that I never used. Now let's make it even worse. That's $6,300 that could have went into a Roth IRA during a time where the market did great. From 2009 to 2011, market did great after that correction in '08. My $6,300 could have been $13,000. I effed up $13,000 by forgetting to turn off the damn Verizon lines in my office. Now you think about your own personal financial story. How many subscription things did you sign up for? I'm gonna do the free week trial, put my credit card information in, but forgot, and you've been getting dinged for $19.99 for 4 years. It starts with that fiscal responsibility. Everything that we do at Wealth Our Way starts with a budget. I'm doing my LL Cool J because it's dry in here and licking my lips. I apologize. I'm not trying to be sexy for y'all. So the reality is that you go and you start the budget. How many of you guys, show of hands, have a formal budget? And then here's the other question. Are you budgeting correctly? Because when I ask people, do they have a budget or to show me their budget, I'd say about 6 to 7 out of 10 show me financial tracking data, which I commend you. Doing something is better than doing nothing, but tracking your finances is not a budget. Let's be clear. Tracking your finances is just that, tracking your finances, knowing what you spend every month on something. A budget dictates what you should be spending every month. So I have to use the word constitution. Like, this is your guideline. This is your blueprint. This is your Bible. This is telling you, this is how much I want to spend on every category. And you name the categories: taxes, living expenses, personal expenses, medical expenses, insurances, car. You break them all down. You total it up to 100%. You use that 100% by your salary, and that's what you should spend. Now you start tracking what you're actually spending. And every month we compare the two. We see if there's a variance. If you're short every month, now you know why you have credit card debt. Your spending is higher than what you've budgeted for. You're running in the red every month, and you're covering this in the red, normally with some type of consumer debt. Consumer debt costs money, so now you are officially in the rat race. You'll never get out because you're living to what you spend. and the spending is costing you money. So you're using another term of big tanks that I like to coin. I probably should get all this copywritten, but it's called the impatience tax. I call consumer interest the impatience tax. If you are spending money to buy something that you can't afford to have, so you're borrowing, you're being impatient, and that's its own tax. It's punishable by rates of 19-20%. So the first thing we do at Wealth Our Way is we measure what your credit score is the day you come to us. We put you through the credit program to measure what your score currently is. We look at whether or not you have a budget and start setting that up. And then we measure what your current net worth is. Those are the 3 starting points. We set a program to grow all 3 of those things. Increase your credit score, increase your cash flow, increase your net worth. That is that simple. And then as you go from foundational to development, developing to transitional to mastery, you're learning things such as debt management, tax minimization. I'm out here in California to meet with some of my high baller clients. I got a client of mine that paid $2.6 million in taxes last year. I have a plan that I'm showing him today that's going to reduce his taxes from $2.6 million last year to $1.1 million. He's going to save $1.5 million in taxes. I fully expect to be taking the dinner later on. Fully expect it. So everybody's situation isn't that. That's fine. I told a story last week. I think I was on the other Facebook page explaining, I want you guys to come to me if you make $35,000 a year, you still holler at your boy. That's why I'm here. Don't get intimidated by the fact that I got clients making 20, 30 million bucks a year. I got clients all up and down the spectrum. My mom is my client. My mom, like I said, single mom raised me on food stamps, but now I'm getting her right. She has assets to leave her kids and grandkids because it's not as hard as you think. It's just not. It requires some discipline. The same way I'm working on being disciplined with my weight loss, you guys have to work on being disciplined with your finances. I got an email from a client yesterday. It's heartbreaking to me. She's an $80 a month client. She has not done the tasks that are in her wealth portal to do. I've laid them out for her. She hasn't done them. She emailed me yesterday saying, I think I should stop paying for the service because talk about herself, I am not doing the tasks that I'm supposed to be doing. It's taking me too long. And I don't want to keep paying while I'm waiting to do what I'm supposed to do. So I'm kindly sending her an email today saying, you know what? You may not be ready. And that's fine. I don't want to take anybody's $80 a month who isn't ready. If she's ready, I got the juice for her. But if you're not ready, you're not ready. So what about entrepreneurs that don't have steady cash flow? And I love that, Shauna. So let me tell you this. I'm an entrepreneur without steady cash flow. I've had months where I've made like a baseline number of like $4,000 to $6,000. And then I'll have a month where I'll get $118,000 of income in. They sound like great problems to have, but what do we do as human beings, even as a financial professional? We tend to go up to that higher level. You see a check for 6 figures, you might want to think about buying a new car or getting that refrigerator for the kitchen. This is when you go back to your budget and you say, hey, first of all, this money needs to be spread out over time. I need to make sure, first and foremost, as an entrepreneur, I'm taking care of my tax obligation that's going to come up. And then the second thing we do is we make sure every category is properly funded for months moving forward. So for entrepreneurs, I tell you, your job to budget is harder than someone with a W-2 paycheck because you have to look back. I normally go back 2 years on tax returns and I average and estimate what your income has been. And then we budget based on that monthly average. So if you've been seeing 65 grand a year for the last 3 years, I'm going to say you bring in roughly like $5,400 a month, $5,300 a month, and I'm going to base your budget off of that. Will you be short some months? Perhaps. That's when we have to make sure your cash flow is going properly. What do we do for the months that we know we're not bringing in $5,400? It's easy if we brought in $20,000 a month before, we put some money in savings and we fund our budget. But what happens if it goes the other way? What happens if in the first 3 months of the year, you're short, but you know come April, you're gonna get a big ass check? Then we have to find how we can get liquidity, whether it's through debt or whether it's through now postponing certain expenses because we know we won't have the money for it. But I do a whole course work on small businesses. I have a small business webinar series coming up as well. And that's another thing I want you guys to tell me. You guys have to tell me what you want to see. I can talk about any area of finances till I'm blue in the face. If it's not something that's helping you guys practically use, then it's not worth it. When you're normally talking to somebody who's a financial professional, they have a product in their back pocket. They have an insurance policy. They have a mutual fund. They have an ETF. They want to sign you up for Robinhood. Big Tank don't want to do none of those things. I didn't want to ask all the questions, but I didn't know you did all this. Oh, definitely hit me up, inbox me, and let's get rapping about that, Sean. I got you. You know, and once again, that's what I said. My girl Heather, and I know she doesn't mind me using her name because she put it on Facebook. We were talking about some other stuff. Heather's in fundraising. I'm on a board of a nonprofit. I called her about some fundraising stuff, and she said, "Hey, I'm embarrassed to ask you about this, but I don't think I have enough life insurance. Can you? I know you work with rich people." I said, "Girl, we went to school together. You my people." And I helped her. I put her on with the insurance people I refer business to, and we got her great term coverage and got her all set up. I don't care if you spend $20 a month. I want to make sure you're right. So if you have term insurance or a whole life, or somebody's pitching you something and you don't understand it, I'm your resource. I am your friend in the financial services industry. I don't think y'all understand. You know, I'm scared to death of car repairs. I'm not a manly man in that regard. I don't know nothing. I could go into Pep Boys thinking I need a spark plug replaced or needing a spark plug replaced, and I go in there and the dude tell me my whole engine is shot and hit me with a $3,000 bill. I wouldn't know. I'm clueless. It's because I understand that feeling of cluelessness and that uncertainty and that paranoia that I'm being taken advantage of that I do this, because I want you to not feel how I feel when I go to the car shop when you're talking about finances. Appreciate you right back, big bro. You know, I want you to feel, yo, Tank, I ran this by Tank. I know this is good, you know, because he's not selling me nothing. He ain't sitting here trying to make sure I switch to his account from another account. Even if you hire me as a financial planner at Wealth Our Way, you still keep your money where it is. I may tell you, instead of paying a broker an additional sales charge and fee, that you can go to Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab and do it cheaper, but that's completely up to you. My job is to improve your financial roadmap. I want to get you to your number. We should all have a number that we need to get to in retirement to live off of. We should all have an income producing plan for retirement. If you do not, I'm your man to help you get there. So with all that being said, it is 12:51. I've been on for 21 minutes. I do want to really try to fine tune these and keep them to 15 minutes. I am going to do better. I'm on the road right now. I'm in LA. So I'm always flying off the dome when I talk to you guys. I'm going to start structuring the lives, recording them on Sundays and live feeding them every day at 12:30. And then I'll be watching just like you guys are. So when you ask questions, I can answer the questions in the chat while I'm still talking on the screen because it's pre-recorded, but it's all live content that you guys want it recorded from me. I think that's the best way to never miss a show, always be on time, always keep it to 15 minutes, and be able to engage with you guys better because I'm not worried about talking and texting and typing at the same time. So with all that being said, please visit the website, www.wealthourway.com. We're going to start the Wine and Wealth webinars the fourth Wednesday of this month. Our grand opening of Wealth Our Way is October 14th, George Floyd's birthday. And although Wealth Our Way is up and running now, we're doing a whole big rollout thing on October 14th. There's so much. I'm on the radio show, 100.3 FM in Philly with Manuel Glenn, The Voice. The breakdown every second and fourth Saturday of the month. And then there's a couple of other things going on. There's going to be more and more information. I'm partnering up with Terry Kozar of Care Credit. Programs that normally cost people $150, $175 to start, you're getting included in your Wealth Our Way. They go so quick. They do go quick, man. It's crazy. And maybe I'll stretch it to a half hour. It's for you. So if y'all tell me I'm not running my mouth too much and y'all are getting good information, I can go to half. So you got to let me know. We'll make it happen. Terry Kozar from Care Credit. I'm saving people from this grind of paying monthly fees for credit restoration. We're just doing quick, short-term solutions from somebody who worked at TransUnion for 20 years. Who else is going to be on here? Oh, I'm working to get the student loan doctor to do a segment. Another real estate, my girl, Nicole Purvey, Better Than Success. All of these different things. Now, they all have their own for-pay sites. And the reason they would even think to collaborate with me is because they can get exposure here for their for-pay sites, but they're willing to give content on my site. So questions that you guys have about real estate, questions that you have about your student loans forgiveness program, credit, all of it's here. My boy Bruce said to me one time, and I always keep bringing this up, Tank, we need this. We didn't talk about this across the kitchen table in our neighborhoods where we were growing up. And the answer to that is that's 100% true. This is the new kitchen table. We're talking about it now. We can fix our situations. We can help our parents that are aging on their way out. And we can teach the next generation how to not start from zero like we did. Negative zero. We started from negative zero. We don't have to have them start from negative zero. So I felt really good about this, man. Just the number of people that came on board. Let me give you a quick update. My brother, little brother, still in the hospital. I just got a text before I came on the air that the swelling on his brain grew overnight. The pressure is increasing. So they put a stent in to pull some of the pressure off. So I'm going to go back and holler at my people about that. I believe in the Lord. I'm prayerful that everything's going to work out. He wiggled his fingers and toes yesterday for the neurologist, so he doesn't have any paralysis. I know everything is going to be straight. I do appreciate all of you guys who have shown me love and concern on that. My little brother's my guy, so and he's not like Big Tank. My little brother about this big, so somebody sucker punched a thin, small, frail cat. It's unacceptable, but we'll deal with that later. So in any event, love you cats. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be live tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern time. Peace.